The Preds, they've won 13 of their last 17 games, 4 of their last 5, but they did lose last night to the Canucks 5-2. Sean, we're going to talk about that. Exactly what happened, and also what happened with Michael McCarron.
Oh, boy.
We got some things to talk about there. Also some takeaways from Andrew Brunette himself about 2 important young forwards on the roster. We're also going to talk about the defense, which is kind of in a strange place right now. And then we're going to wrap up with the 3-on-3 draft, of course. Don't forget, you can text into the show, 615-737-1025. Text in. Let us know what you think about the Preds right now. And also, you might answer this question, which is our puck drop topic of the day. Sean, what do you think Michael McCarron said to get thrown out of the game on Tuesday in the Vancouver game?
Alex, I'll tell you where I was located up in Media Row up there as they were bringing Big Sexy to the penalty box, and he was trying to get back at his friend over there. I believe he kind of pushed it to a point. The ref was holding him back pretty hard. He was really trying to get through him, and I believe lip reading.
Yeah.
The F word was dropped.
So you did some lip reading.
Did some lip reading, and I believe he said the F word, which we're not going to talk about anymore. And then he may have said off afterwards.
Okay. I think he was asking him. I think it was actually a little bit more friendly.
Really?
Well, okay. I also think I don't think that it has anything to do with what he said. I think it has more to do with what he did.
Oh.
So I was looking into some of this. We're going to talk a little bit more about this as we go around the first segment, but I almost wonder if maybe it was like the sort of persistence in trying to shove the referee off of him.
He was really trying to get back. I haven't seen a player get that forceful trying to get through a ref in a while.
Yeah, it was a little much, and I think that was part of it. Could there have been something said? Yeah, of course, which we will talk about in a little bit. But I think it was almost maybe what he was doing rather than what he was saying.
Sure.
But we will talk about the Vancouver game in a second. Let's quickly recap the last couple games before that since our last show. The 6-5 overtime win in Carolina. Philip Forsberg with another winner. Tons of moments in this one. There were just some crazy moments, but the Preds were down 4-2 and then down 5-3, and then Jeremy Lauzon ties it, and then Philip Forsberg, another winner. That was pretty crazy. He had 2 overtime winners back-to-back. And then a couple days later, the 3-1 win over the Washington Capitals. Colton Sissons gets it started. Philip Tomasino has that breakaway goal that he used, the old move he used from his days with the Niagara Ice Dogs. He played for a couple different teams, actually. But Yakov Trenin puts him ahead. And then I have a little mini rant here.
Oh.
At the end of the game, Tommy Novak gets dumped. Do you remember this?
I do remember.
So Tommy Novak gets dumped by, who was it? Nick Jensen, right?
Yeah.
Nick Jensen dumps him, and the reason he did it is because, well, you explain it, Sean. Why did Nick Jensen dump Mr. Novak on the ice?
Well, there was an empty net down there, Alex. He was going for the empty net. He had a breakaway. I mean, he was going to put the puck in the net. I mean, it was undeniable that he had unhindered access and path toward the empty net.
So the big issue is he broke a rule, right? He broke an unwritten rule, so to speak.
You're talking. I was thinking of something else. Oh.
No, I'm talking. You're thinking of the Cody Glass.
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Let me. Yeah. No. Okay.
Yeah. So Tommy Novak gets dumped because he put the puck in the empty net. Or put the puck in the net after the whistle or after the game ended or whatever, like half a second after. Here's my mini rant. There were a lot of people. We posted this on our social media. We posted this a lot of places and talked about it just as a way of saying, do you think that this? It was more of just to get the conversation started. Do you think that the punishment of getting tripped there was worth was fit the crime? I guess.
Did the time fit the crime?
A whole lot of people think that it was definitely worth it, that he broke a rule and all this, and I just disagree. I think it's nonsense. I think this unwritten rule is kind of nonsense. I think it also depends on the context, right? I think if he had, shot the puck at an opponent and hit him in the leg and injured him,
right? Maybe
you'd deserve something, like we saw that happen a couple weeks
maybe.
ago. But it was like a soft little backhander that just went in the net right as time expired and gets dumped. So I disagreed with most people on that, and that's okay.
And I'm going to say this because I had a lot of opinions and feelings on this too, as people were getting pretty heated on social media, as they are wont to do when things like this happen. If your argument is, well, he shot the puck in the net, okay, so would that count as a shot on goal? Yes, it would count as a shot on goal. Was it a shot? Would it have been was there injury possible from that shot? No, I don't think so. Right. Especially to a fully padded up goalie. Now, if you're talking about like a toddler in the net without any gear on besides, a diaper, maybe they could have gotten hurt. I mean, they shouldn't have been out there anyway with all those skates. I mean, that's not safe. But I think the only thing, if you're talking about the potential for injury here, because that's what it really comes down to, is when you make the argument that he shot the puck. Right. He could have hurt somebody because it was after the whistle. I get that argument in a sense. However, tripping him or slew-footing him, or whatever you want to call it, the issue here is that could have led to an injury, right? Yeah. The problem is the only thing that shot into the net could have hurt was that goalie's feelings.
That's true. I also have there were so many people who got so mad that we referred to it as a slew foot, and there's something about like the hockey world that people get so angry about the dumbest things. So I said it was a slew foot / trip. Now, the only reason I referred to it as a slew foot, even though in the rule book a slew foot is only with your feet, I only refer to that is because it's really more about like kind of the result of what happens. A trip doesn't always look like a slew foot. Almost always a trip is when the guy is going forward and he gets tripped for going forward. A slew foot typically happens from the back, right? You get your feet knocked out from under you. Now, this was kind of the side thing. He kind of got tripped from the side, so it really wasn't it doesn't matter. Did my explanation of it as a slew foot hinder your understanding of what happened? No, it didn't. But anyways, that's the mini rant is now over. Let's talk about the Vancouver game.
Okay.
So there's a lot to unpack here because I feel like there was a lot of things that happened that deserve conversation beyond just the result, which the result was a 5-2 loss. Yeah. Vancouver Canucks come out of here with a win.
Again.
Felt like the Preds had some momentum early, but then this sort of at the very end of the period, they get these 2 goals back-to-back, and then the incident that we're going to spend a lot of time talking about is Dakota Joshua goes after Jeremy Lauzon because Jeremy Lauzon hit Connor Garland. And then as he's kind of going back, Joshua realizes that Lauzon's not going to fight him or something, or he just is skating back to the bench. McCarron goes after him and is very adamant about fighting him.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't let that happen, and McCarron gets a game unsportsmanlike, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike, and then a game misconduct kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so we said at the beginning, what do you think he said, and so forth. Do you want to go ahead and give us your theory? You told me about a theory you had before the break. You want to go ahead and get into that?
The research I did, Alex?
Yeah, the research. So
Alex,
Sean did some research.
I've done some research. The internet is a fabulous place. It occurred to me, like, I don't really know a lot about Dakota Joshua. Of course, I do know about Michael McCarron, the Grosse Pointe native from up there in Michigan. And when I looked up Joshua, what I learned was that he is also from Michigan, and that they are about the same age. Not the same age, but about the same age. And they both played on Honey Bay Cam teams, the AAA teams up there, the very, well-known, respected teams that you hear about in youth hockey. You hear about the Little Caesars teams, you hear about